So I'll say hello to everyone. Hello, Eva. Hello, Duane. Hello, everyone. So it's another Saturday, and I will start with some echoes from Congo in Africa. Mariam called me today afternoon, and we chatted for about uh, about 10 minutes. Yeah, so she's not doing fine. She was really sick, and she's not been able to keep abreast of any new friend activities there. But she says the new friends have started meeting again, and she's not yet she's not yet been able to be with them, but she will ask someone to give her bring her a report of what they have been doing. Yeah, and that as usual they have their real side experiences uh, which are very exciting. And so she looks forward to joining us sometime in the future when she has regained her health. Because right now she's not fine at all. Been down for quite a while, and so that is it from Congo. Nothing from Nigeria as usual. I'm still waiting, but we have, I think, we may have some people, some friends from Nigeria here. Are there any, Kelsey?
I don't see any online with us, Charles.
Okay. Yeah, Duane, now I would like to start by letting Duane try to give an explanation or answer a question that one new friend in the New Start group by name James, he asked. He asked how we can create a better living experience in our present now. And I guess he must be thinking of how to make the personal life vibrant for a better life here. And he seems to also suggest that Dwayne touches on some issues without going deep and providing details, and he wants the details. So maybe Dwayne can shed some light on this.
Okay, well, it's not an easy place, and the system's already, been created. So for the most part, most people have to go along with the system and try to do something with their life here as they're here. Again, why everybody's here is they've come to recognize the bigger part of life. And when it comes to the details, yes, I don't really get into a lot of details. You talk about what's going on in the world with, let's just say, the chemtrails or the Wi-Fi, the HARP. Again, we've all come through, what we have. And, most people have come through religion or spiritual paths or what have you. And that's fine. Except that these things, like when we were young with our parents, and I've said it many times, we were babysat. And so now we're coming to the next step and thinking that it's all the same thing. And it's not. You start off with getting the idea of what we're doing. That's what it is, getting the idea. But now you're bigger now, and it's like in the workplace. You might say you have a job to do, and that job is about you waking up and recognizing what's going on in this world and the true reality life is. But that's a decision you make, and a lot of people don't want to wake up. For the most part, they just want to go along with the social order, which is understandable. But if you look at history, let's just go back 100 years on this planet, just 100 years, and that's nothing, to the present time. You know, all the promises and the good times and the good life, yes, people have had these things, but really, overall, it's all gotten worse. It only keeps getting worse every day. So much for the lifestyle here. It's really survival and waking up. And when it comes to the details, no, this is where the individual investigates themselves, not just being hand-fed everything right there for them. They decide to investigate. This becomes their adventure and journey with their own experience. So I'm not going to go into detail on how to build a rocket ship. You know, if a person wants to go to the moon, they're going to have to figure that out for themselves. And so I give the basic ideas because just going over the basic ideas of anything here is a whole lot. Look at all the Skypes we've done, the Blog Talk Radio, what I've written, the groups, etc. And I've just barely touched the surface. And so really, it's not that we're going to change the world. We can't do that. The world is set into what it's decided. The best you can do is get along and figure out your part with this and how you in some way can become involved and step up and support those that are really doing something. I see this as very important, and I see at the same time, I see people vacillating. Well, you know, it's their choice. You know, it's like anything. Again, getting down on the playing field. Do you want to just be a spectator? You want to watch the game? Or do you want to get involved? And many people are thinking, well, gee, you know, I don't know if this is the right way or etc. Life is an isness, okay, and what makes sense. And take the time to make sense of it or don't. We do. We make sense, and just the explanations alone should show it. But the best part is the new you on the real side. You start to figure, you start to see things out. You hear experiences from other people too. What makes sense? You know, look at the birds. They make sense. But, you know, most people don't pay attention to the birds. Their lifestyle makes sense. And there's more to it than just looking at the birds. And it's like, well, my gosh, they just live in a nest. You know, they never go to the grocery store. Or they don't go to, you know, the movie theaters or, you know, bungee jump or whatever. Okay. No. But from their viewpoint, hey, they're fine. But from the personal view of the human part, it seems a little bit funny, etc. But again, it's a view, isn't it? So when it comes to the details of anything, if a person wants to be a swimmer, a runner, or you know, do karate, or you know, whatever they want to do, be a painter, an artist, or a dancer, you know, these are things that they decide for themselves, and we just kind of give the idea. Because really, the focus is the real universes, which is an isness, which is now. And that's the possibility that we're offering. And the individual in their own way figures that out. But when it comes to their personal life, that's all their own. And we get this all the time, Ava and I. You know, people read the courses, they read the books, and then they go, well, gee, what is next? What else you got? It's like, well, you know, we had one individual that was, we chatted with yesterday, 4 years he's done all this, he's read everything. After 4 years, he still hasn't figured out, and he's saying, well, what do I do next? Or give me some ideas. It's like, you know, you should have figured it out by now. It's kind of like when you went through high school, you should have figured out that at some point you're going to live your own life and make your own choices every moment, you see. So this is where still the world is lagging behind. Look at what we're doing. Look at what Kelsey and the other kids are doing. They're stepping up and doing something. We don't have 9-to-5 jobs. No, we've made our life of a particular so that we don't need that at this time, and we have other things going on too. But we're creatively supporting ourselves here so that we can present this to the world, because the world is on very fast forward destroying itself. And one of the things I saw the other day on Facebook was they're exposing a lot of these underground tunnel stuff. They're going to get everybody underground. That's the people that are left, that is. They want them underground, all right? This is why they built subways and things like this, to get people used to going underground. It seems like a cool idea, doesn't it? Well, they could have built monorail systems down the busy streets or whatever. But no, they decided to go underground. I remember when they did that in LA here too. They could have gone above ground with a subway system, or in other words, a monorail system. But they decided to go with a subway system. Why is that? Getting people ready to live underground like on Mars. And this is where the world's going. So this is why I take all the time I do to present this, because there's only so much time. And if the person hasn't developed their awareness more so than just their personal self, well, they're going to be stuck here. That's just very real. This is not a belief system. You really have to earn your way, really more so than you can imagine. So the details of anything, Charles, each person is going to figure that out for themselves. I'm not going to sit here and explain it to them. This is really silly stuff. And so again, the systems have been purposely created to keep people passive and unaware and one-dimensional. You want to get that through yourself, that it's very real, and that what is seen out here in the outer world is a creation to hold you to it. Again, most people look at the created stuff as, oh, we've done really good, we've made progress. No, you've buried the essentials underneath all that stuff and destroyed them. Look at New York City. What's under that? New York City, all those buildings, those are headstones. That's a graveyard. And it'll all become extinct after a while. The graveyard will still be there, but the people will be gone because of everything, how it's being poisoned, etc. So in the meantime, yes, start to get creative and figure it out for yourself. No, I'm not going to be drawing plans for people. I'm already deciding certain things to go a particular direction, and the new presentation is transforming, but people have to recognize that, or they stay with their personal life. It's a much bigger picture constantly, and it's much better, but you have to learn to see it. But if you keep looking at just the personal self, you're gonna have your personal life. That's not going to vanish, but you got to figure it out for yourself. That's the bottom line. Yes, it's the doing and it's the supporting. It's the doing. This society has been taught, and they're still doing it. It's the mind process of thinking that, oh, you make the decision, we're talking about it, we're talking about global warming or climate change or all this funny stuff that they've created, and thinking that by the very fact that we create these conferences, people create these conferences and these ideas, and they get together, they have these big seminars, that something's getting done. No, it's not. It's not getting done at all, because nothing is being done about it. It's only getting worse. But that's the idea. That's the overall plan. They don't want anything to be done. It's sound good stuff. And so I look at the world, and we're the only ones that are, providing a real education and real guidance for the real universes, which is an isness now. We're the only ones. Everybody else has their sound good stuff, which keeps everybody in creation, etc. So that's the next step for everybody, for whatever they're gonna do. They have to figure it out for themselves. And so it has nothing to do with me. That becomes their personal adventure. And then can they figure out how to step up and stand real with the real guides? It's a step at a time. So there's the short end of it, Charles.
Yeah, I'm asking. I was asking whether there's a way to fast track one's development or one's awareness because James was also asking if there is a way to fast track one's awareness in order
Yes.
to
Yes,
have
sir.
experiences in the real universes. So I don't know whether Duane can throw some light on this.
Well, yes, there is, but very few people will make the move to do that. You see, they expect it to come to them. It's like, how do I do this? Do I read a book and then all of a sudden I know it? No, that's not it. The fast track to this is to take the risk and step up and do something that makes sense, you see. And you got to figure that out first. Yeah, there is a fast track to it, but it takes a whole lot for the individual to focus on that. It's not that you're just going to read something. You can read the books or whatever. There's description there. But for you to personally, it's just like you as a teacher, how you became a teacher, Charles, and had to go through all you did. Was there a fast track to it? Well, the fast track was all the process you went through. And you'll notice right now, all the years that you've been a teacher, I don't know how many that is, 10, 20, 30 years, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Are you really the teacher still, or is there still more to learn? Yes, there is, isn't there? So again, life is big. And so people, because of the world, how it is, it's a microwave world. You just put your dinner in the microwave, 10 seconds later, it's done. This is how people see it. Well, I want it right away. And then once they get the idea, what do? They usually flip-flop to something else because it's like, I want this, I want that. It's just like these musical videos that just show you image after image after image. This is how people have been conditioned not to see the bigger view. Okay, you want to know the fast track, really? All right. All right. Sit and consider the sun shining all day long if you can do that every single day. Can you do that? And the sun has been shining ever since all this silly stuff has been going on in the earth. Who will take the time just to do that? And that's just the first step. That's just an idea of what to do. And who will do that, Charles? You see? And it's stepping into the unknown, it's taking the risk, etc. So we start off with the written material. And again, people have been so literalized that they think that there's some kind of secret in the written material. There isn't. There never has been. Again, the documentation, the government has documents that say secret, top secret, and all this top secret file. That's nonsense. Did the birds ever make top secret files? Did the Indians that were here, the indigenous people, did they ever do this nonsense? See how wrapped up we are in these things, and a fast track to what? Life is an isness, an endless isness. So what would be the idea of a fast track? And really what it is learning the focus and becoming aware and recognizing what is real more so than just creation. So again, that's going to be up to the individual. The fast track is created by them, but it's not that. It's an isness. Okay? It's really an isness. And so this is where, yes, very few people get it because they won't take the time from their personal life to figure it out. So, the only way the individual is going to get there faster is if they take the time to figure it out. And so, yes, you do the New You sessions, you read the books, that gives you an idea. You have the real side experiences, but there's a whole lot more. And so even people that have these things, and it's good to hear these things because it inspires a person, that's still not it. Yes, there's still more than that. So most people will just go back to their personal life. They will just stay with that. And then they will just wait for some kind of miracle or something to happen. But if you look at yourself, because you are the awareness operating in the five bodies, it is always determined by you what you decide and you recognize. It's not coming from somewhere. And when something comes from life or outside of yourself or whatever, you're the one that determines to recognize how it fits with you, with your awareness, and with your created consciousness there is a difference between the two, and most people don't know that. They can't recognize the difference. So you've got a lot to do first. So that fast track idea, that's cute, but it really doesn't make sense. But again, these are terms and ideas from marketing people that have marketed ideas. And again, do the birds deal with this every day? Do they deal with marketing ideas? Life's a lot better than these marketing ideas, even though we're dealing with it. I'm not saying not to. This is the personal side. You figure out your life.